Okay, so here's my question. I've had it for a while, very long time. My life changed. It's always changing, but it really changed one night, probably like 2007, the day before Thanksgiving. I had a series of dreams and premonitions, and it basically, your perception creates your reality. And someone in the dream told me, don't take this too seriously. This is all like a matrix. And then I had a bunch of things happen to me the next couple of days, and it was like manifestations from the dream. And then I picked up a DVD of The Secret Behind the Secret, which Peter made, and it just changed everything. I mean, basically what it was is after I had that dream, I had that realization. I just asked, I'm like, how do I remember this? And 2 days later, I picked up that DVD. So it was like, and Jerry was talking about how day before Thanksgiving, his life, a bunch of things happened. Basically, my point is, ever since then, I've sort of been living on the edge. I've had crazy things happen to me every day, synchronicities, too many to name, crazy coincidences, and
coincidence just meaning incidences that coincide.
Yeah, signs. I can't even, I'm not going to waste my time trying to explain or talk about it, but I'm trying to get to 88 miles per hour. You know what I mean? Back to the Future. And that's the truth. Because I'm right here, signs every day, all up in your business. Things have been for a long time, and they keep coming up a long time. I'm like, well, that's kind of tainted. It's been a while, man. You know what I mean? But it keeps in my face all day long. And I know it's Source communicating to me every moment, but I just kind of I've always wanted you to explain that to me. You know what I mean? For a long time, I come here and I really wanted to have that question.
We want to say two things to you as a beginning of this conversation. The first is, and we really want you to hear this. You already know it, but we want you to hear it right now. What happens in your dream state, you are also the creator of. So as you were talking about this turning point and describing it as the day before Thanksgiving, we wanted to jump in and say what was going on before that, because it didn't just happen then, you were on your way to that. So your life, whatever was going on, was causing you to ask with more specific intention than ever before. And in that sleep state, when you have less resistance, you allowed information. In other words, you allowed a creation to give you some information. Lots of information comes to lots of people through dreams. The other thing that we really want you to hear, this is an important thing. We like it so much when we have a really first time conversation with someone. And your words, inspired words, back to the future. Ooh. Because when you listen to it the way we would describe it, what you have been living caused you to launch rockets of desire. So the past did create the future. And when you get over there to it, in a sense, you are back to the future.
You mean when you come into alignment?
Yeah.
That's what I always say, 88 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That's when you go back.
But you're not going back, because the back caused the future. But when you get to the future, you don't go back. But a lot of people try to. When they receive the benefit of what the past has created, they don't adhere to the future. They don't maintain it. They don't stay at 88 miles an hour, because they keep trying to talk about what caused them to want that, so they don't maintain it. You
mean like this sort of happening at the same time?
Oh, see, these are really good
like
words.
Like a Salvador Dali painting, he painted these clocks melting because he saw time moving to your perception. Is there a little...
When you focus on a problem, you create a solution. The problem and the solution, the question and the answer, are created simultaneously. It just depends on which way you're oriented, which one of them you continue to live. So now, we know you've heard all that from us before, so that was no blockbuster information. That was no new answer to this important question. So you keep asking until you get the answer from us that you want. And we don't mean that.
No. This
We
is a
don't mean
dream.
that.
Honestly, dude, this is a dream come true. Just getting called up here, it's because I know that anything's possible.
So from where you are, let's not go too far back and try to recreate the dream. And from where you stand right now, what do you want to know?
This is it. I've had all these things. I felt like I was on the brink. A lot of things, signs and things manifested, and it just sort of collapsed. And
this is a strong key for you, something really big and good. When we say to you, you're always going to be on the brink, let that settle in. Because to most that feels like, I'm always going to be on the brink and I'm never going to be there. No, we mean the leading edge is just going to keep moving forward to you.
You mean you're never that far away?
We mean you never get past the brink. Because with everything that life causes you to want, when you get there, life causes you to want something more. And when you get there, life causes you to want something more.
But I didn't quite close that gap. You know what I mean? I felt like I've been stuck in that gear for a long time, and it's a bit traumatizing.
It's that belief that keeps you from closing it.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why we think the important information, there's always going to be somewhat of a gap as long as you're in your physical body, because you were born for the contrast to produce more, the back to produce the future. And then you want to be future oriented, but no matter how future oriented you are, you're going to keep launching rockets out there ahead, because that's the promise of eternity. That's the role you said you'd play when you came into your physical body. Your inner being doesn't say that. Your inner being doesn't say, we'll go into the contrast in order to create the more. Your inner being says, our emissary's doing that. We're going in the direction of what he creates. And as he moves in the direction of what he's created, he's going to feel better and better. But the belief that you need to get past the brink and to the finished, to the conclusion, there's not ever going to be that conclusion, because your perspective is going to keep moving you forward to more. Is that hard to accept?
I get what you're saying.
But
I get what you're saying. Like it just, I think I want to receive is like be a little easier about it, and it's all sort of happening. I mean, I'm not translating that well, but I think I get some of what you're saying. Really, but what I was trying to say.
Well, in your dream, when someone told you there's nothing serious going on here. There isn't anything serious going on here, because you have no battles to wage or win. You have nothing to prove. There's nothing on the line. You are a creator who wants to create. And so in your dream, you effectively and accurately translated that. That's what your inner being wants you to know. You're holding yourself to an irrational and flawed premise, responsibility, and that's the only thing that makes you feel like you're not making it to where you want to be.
Well, I wanted to translate. I just kind of received some. It's like this. Kind of what I'm trying to say. It's like this example came to me. If Esther, if she's up here flying high, traveling, and all of a sudden she ended up, obviously will never happen, but let's say in a messed up place or whatever. I'm just trying to say, I felt like I was up here, man. I was on movie sets and I was around, and then all of a sudden, bam, and I was like right there on the brink of my dreams, and then bam, I'm like, in these, it doesn't even matter, but I just want to close that.
We have so much we want to say to you. First, do not assume that Esther never has an experience like that, because of course she does.
You can't say, you don't know that's all perceptual.
She's not giving up her growth to make you think she's perfect.
Yeah. No, that's just what came to me. Honestly, I honestly don't think that. That's just what came to me. Yeah.
We want you to know that.
No, I know, because I remember Jerry saying in Peter's DVD, your guys' DVD, said that people think people in Africa are poor, but it's all perceptual. They don't want the same stuff we want. So I get what you're saying. We
know you do. There are a couple of examples that we want to give to you. You may have heard them before, but as you hear them right now, it's going to be meaningful to you. At the same seminar, two people came to talk with us like you are. And one of them was a businessman who had been flying high, like you were describing, and now had lost everything. And he was in his 60s, and he felt completely defeated. And because of the way his success had come to him over a long period of time, his belief was he didn't have time for it to come again. So he had a desire to return to his wealth and stature, but a belief that would not accommodate it. And we said to him, you are not taking into consideration your vibrational currency. You are evaluating by a brief little unseemly and unwanted turn of events that are in manifestational form, and you are concluding who you are because of the current manifestation, where if you were understanding who you are by the vibration, by getting back to the future, by acknowledging that what you lived created future events, and it doesn't matter how far gone. He felt like all that stuff that he had lived that had propelled him over there was now lost because he forgot that he was propelled over there and still is there. This is the thing that we so want you to hear. Your current manifestations do not reflect your true point of attraction. They only reflect how much of your true point of attraction you're letting in right now.
It doesn't mean shit. Yeah, I get it.
It doesn't mean diddly squat. It doesn't mean anything, as your dream told you. There's nothing serious going on here. So if we can help you to get a glimpse of what your inner being knows. Do you know what? The most significant, the best proof of what your inner being knows about you is how your inner being feels about you and the success that your inner being knows about you. Do you know what the best proof of that is? When you feel negative emotion. Because the very existence of your negative emotion is proof that you're not where the truth is.
I'm not paying enough attention to that.
It's all right. Your inner being's not ever going to say you're not paying enough attention. Your inner being's always just going to say, hey, over here, over here. Inner beings don't get together and say, he's not listening. There's not one of those self-help groups for inner beings. We've got hard humans. We've got hard humans. They don't listen. There's no non-physical group like that. It's just a constant party. Look what that one's past created in their future. Look what's lined up for this one. Look what's lined up for this one. Let's party on what this one is lined up, and this one is lined up, and this one is lined up. Let's get out there into their future manifestation, but their current vibrational reality. Let's go to where their vibration is, and let's radiate it so consistently that every now and again they'll catch a glimpse of it. And sometimes when you catch a glimpse of it, and you look at it from the point of view of, I'm not there yet, the manifestations haven't caught up, then the awful feeling that you have is the indication that you've caught a glimpse of it. Just like the euphoric feeling you have is indication that you've caught a glimpse of it. Because if it weren't there to glimpse, and you weren't catching a glimpse, you'd never have negative emotion. How are you today? I feel terrible. Oh, that's good. Why? Because that means you've expanded magnificently and the larger part of you knows it, and you just caught a glimpse of that. Really? Didn't feel like I caught a glimpse of my future or my present reality.
But when I heard you say that about the guy who lost it, and I think why I beat myself up to is because I don't feel like I hit the jackpot, so to speak, or made the money or whatever. And so I feel like I got close, and then it's like I beat myself up. So you know what I'm saying?
All right, so we're gonna just.
But it's a perceptual
we're just gonna have
problem.
to tell you what your inner being knows. Want to know? That was the jackpot on the way to the jackpot, on the way to the jackpot, on the way to the jackpot. But that jackpot was missing so many other aspects of jackpotness. Oh, it's wonderful for your creative talents to be understood and utilized. Nothing feels better than that. But along with that, autonomy matters. Your acknowledgement of who you are. And if you were in a position where you really had hit the jackpot of knowing who you are, nothing could have ever taken that away from you. But when conditions take that away from you, that means you weren't at that jackpot yet. And that's the jackpot that matters.
That's what you're saying, yeah. You're saying that, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we know you do. So good for you, you did that. And then you did something even better. You lost that because it wasn't the real deal anyway. It wasn't the jackpot that you're going for.